Well, good morning, and may I wish you a very happy new year. And I know, well, that we are actually halfway through January, but nevertheless, I say happy new year and hope you had a nice Christmas with your family and friends and some fellowship with people you don't normally see and some nice times. And remember what the meaning is. Well, I'm just having a cup of tea here, and I should say that those of you who might have seen my videos from last year about Christmas Day and Boxing Day did talk about a few elements and meanings of Christmas, the true meanings and what Boxing Day is all about. But I would say that you might know that the actually presumed end of Christmas is actually the 6th of January, 12 days after Christmas, 12th night. And as my grandmother would say, Feast of the Epiphany. But some churches have observed that it actually ends about the 2nd of February, which is Candlemas. But there you are, that's some churches, I think in the Orthodox Christians and certainly some of the more traditional churches do sometimes leave trees up until that time. And I know a vicar around here, he has his tree up until, well, certainly the end of January. Anyway, well, as I say, Happy New Year! You might have noticed the new spectacles. Well, these were actually a few months ago. If you hadn't noticed, you may well notice now. The new glasses, otherwise known as spectacles. There you are. You can see they're a little bit bigger than the other ones, but apparently it's the style these days. And I've been going smaller with spectacles for years. Anyway, well, as I say, Happy New Year, and hope you've got some New Year's resolutions, and perhaps you'll have them and you'll keep to them, and perhaps it's part of your journey of faith. Those of you who are of faith will no doubt have realised the former Pope died over Christmas. Those of you I know that are in the Philippines, Catholics, and those in Catholic countries more who observe the Catholic faith more, and certainly look to the Catholic Church to receive Christ, may have noticed that he died, I think it was just before New Year. So perhaps the Pope's getting a bit younger now, because certainly it's a tough old job going on so long, isn't it, until you virtually drop. But anyway, there we are. We wish the family all the best, and of course we'll see what the current Pope has to do, whether he might decide to retire, like the last one. Well, today I'd just like to talk about a few things about what I've been doing, and also then perhaps give you a few words. But, well, actually, just to say, I did go away with some family, first time in about 10 years, so my brother and my father. Help them out, bit of fellowship, helping Lydia and things as well, but didn't have anything for Christmas. Well, for whatever reason, I think probably it was all forgotten about. And we look forward to a good new year, hopefully resolving some of the problems we had last year. And, well, we should look to Christ, those of us who are Christians, and trust in him, because we know that we can never do enough. But certainly, he's our ultimate destiny. Well, you might notice this country's had quite a bit of bad weather over Christmas. It's sort of petered out now. We've got some reasonable weather here today. Winter is mercifully coming to an end next month, so we've got about another 6 weeks. It's now the 13th of January. So we hope that be no more freak weather this year, but you never know with climate change. Well, I've had a few camera problems which have caused these delays in my transmission here. But other than that, we're going on, we're moving on, mercifully. I'd like you to think about this time my friend in Zambia who's got breast cancer. I am praying about it, trying to help her in any way with the local vicar financially to pay for healthcare in Zambia, but they haven't got the radiography machine or the chemotherapy machine working effectively, so she might have to go to either Singapore or India. Most probably India, but it's going to cost thousands of pounds. Maybe you know the value of pounds. I know it's quite a lot of money. So that's another thing, another burden of stress and guilt at the moment, trying to help others, and of course with all the problems here, and trying to help people in other ways as well. So that's a tough one. Do pray about it for me. Those of you in faith. That's one thing to think about as well as those other people worse off than us. Well, of course, they've got scant resources over there, so any help is accepted. But she's had cancer for, the last 18 months or so. So one of a few of our friends have died, so trying to keep our spirits up in any way possible. So, but of course, healthcare is a big problem in the world as well. With the New Year's resolutions and thinking about others, we look to moving forward in our own lives, where we can serve in any way. But I do hope that you will have a good New Year, and that you will have more peace perhaps than you did last year. We're getting out of the pandemic now, so we do hope that, I know at different stages in different countries and everything else, and some haven't had the vaccines as quickly as we have, so we think about you as well. But I think it's good to look back and to look forward, perhaps to where we could improve things for the new year. Well, we're looking forward now towards spring and Lent, which will be in March. So we'll think about that as well. And I may do a session on that coming up in, be 40 days before Easter. So we might observe Shrove Tuesday, Ash Wednesday, and the times coming up thereafter. Hopefully you'll learn something from these sessions as well. So I'll just read these words out. You will see them on the screen as well. Reproduction. Incandescent. Purity. Outrageous. Vendetta. Resurrection. Kazi. Well, you might want to look that one up. Well, do have a great new year. I know this session's been quite short, to the point. I've just discussed a few emotive issues as well for the new year to think about. We sometimes need to take the mind off ourselves. It's always easy and tempting to just think about ourselves and nobody else, which of course we shouldn't do. And some churches will say, well, it's flesh, works of the flesh, pride and ego. It's all works of the self, but hopefully we're not like that. We will consider others, and others we should do. Taking the Christmas card down, that you have, and then in this country they'll go for charity. On the charity cards, we give those to Boots, and they go for charity. And, well, all it leaves me to say now is, have a great one, and I'll do another session soon. Take care now. God bless. Bye-bye now.